Good afternoon and welcome to Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network. It is Tuesday, January 9th. Frank Granito in studio alongside Kevin Coleman. Big day coming up as we get ready to see our first look of the defending FCX champion Ridgefield Tigers tonight. They'll host the Danbury Hatters. We've got some FCX action from last night to get caught up on. A couple of big performances by some rookies out of New Canaan, Kev. Plenty more hoops going on tonight. We're also going to be joined by a guest shortly. So busy day here as we get ready to really get on that January grind here on the HAN Network.
Tonight's going to be a lot of fun over the Tigers Den. You got the Danbury Hatters traveling to Ridgefield High School, taking on the Tigers, an old school rivalry. That crowd's going to be pretty loud tonight, so I'm looking forward to getting back into some basketball broadcasts. It's going to be a fun one tonight.
I hope they live up to the hype because you've built them up pretty big here these past couple of days, so we are expecting
I'm not worried about
big things here. This is a big matchup, though. You've got Danbury leading the West Division, Ridgefield leading the East. Really two teams that have started to separate themselves from the pack, and they're looking to put themselves in a position to be that early front runner as a league favorite.
They are, and obviously the matchup you're most looking forward to is Denali Burton and Brendan McNamara. Those two players are really going to go at it tonight. I really feel like that. But Javon Hernandez, we spoke about it yesterday on Nutmeg Sports. Want to see how he does kind of controlling the offense as the point guard for the Danbury Hatters. How does he control the loud crowd noise that's going to be there tonight as well? So it's going to be a fun one. I expect a close game. I don't think this is going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be down to the wire, maybe a last-minute shot, but it's really going to be a fun one tonight.
All right, we'll have plenty more on that later on in the show, but now we're very happy to welcome on a special guest. She is the new director of the Health and Wellness Center at St. Joseph. It recently opened up this past Sunday. She is Alyssa Thresher. And Alyssa, thank you so much for taking time with us this afternoon. We're happy to have you on. Let's start with Sunday, the grand opening. What was the event like for everyone involved?
I don't hear them at all.
Alyssa, can you hear us there?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry about that. So, Alyssa, we were just saying, let's start with Sunday. You guys had the big grand opening for the Health and Wellness Center. Let's talk a little bit about that event, what it was like for everyone being involved there.
Yeah, Sunday was our, like I said, our grand opening, and we really wanted to have it to showcase the all the hard work that got put into the center. We also wanted some of our donors and alumni to come back and be able to see what all their fundraising efforts were put for. And we had a lot of parents who came that their students are either going to be coming to St. Joe's or are currently enrolled at St. Joe's because they were interested to see in what the next step is that we'll be taking with their athletes.
Alyssa, Kevin here. Just what was the initial reaction to everyone walking into that gym? I got a chance to see it. Beautiful facility. What was the reaction from the alumni, the folks that work at St. Joe's? What was everyone's reaction to when they finally got to see the gym?
I would probably say a lot of jealousy from the alumni because they were mad that they didn't have that when they were here in school. But everybody was absolutely awestruck. Lots of people said that it's better than what they had when they were in college. A lot of people were just really proud of everything that got accomplished over the past year.
Now, I know most of the students have been able to use this facility so far. It opened up in early December. So far, I mean, I think what you guys are doing in terms of teaching students the health and how to live a healthy lifestyle. What's been the reaction from the students so far? It's not just for the student athletes. This is regular students as well. During physical education, what's been the reaction so far, and what have you thought so far from what you've seen throughout the facility?
They're definitely intrigued. Everybody kept trying to sneak into the center before it was even open. So the interest level is definitely there. And I think that nowadays we're seeing even more so how important it is for the students to really maintain a high level of health and wellness, as we're seeing how it's helping with their grades, helping with their social life, helping with their home life and everything else. It'll take a little bit to get students on board with it because it's just a complete culture shift than what they have been used to. But overall, they're already coming up and asking questions. When can we get in? Can you show me exercises for this? Lots of talks about nutrition, which is great. So it's just building the center is kind of stemming off into lots of different other avenues of health and wellness that people are becoming interested in.
Obviously, the athletic director, Kevin Butler, mentioned how we have so many state championship teams. They deserve a state championship center, but this is not just a health and wellness center for the athletes. What kind of other opportunities will there be for the rest of the student body? What kind of classes are you guys looking to run now for the cadets and their students?
So one thing that we are doing first off, we're kind of, rolling everything out slowly at a time. But first, we are revamping our physical education program so that the students will still have a little bit of traditional physical education, but also start incorporating in some fitness for life topics, more of your standard or your typical health class topics. I'm learning a little bit about exercise science and kind of program development so that they can become educated in how to use the weight room and how to set themselves up on a plan that can last them for a long time. But we're also opening it up for the students during the day. So if students want to come down during their study hall period, they're allowed to come in and work out. We'll be having different designated classes. After spring break is our hope to start having, a yoga class once a week or a spin class once a week or, some boot camp classes and stuff like that. And those are going to be geared mainly for our non-student athletes because we want to get everybody involved in it.
And now you've spent the last 4 years as the Director of Health and Wellness over at the Woodruff Family YMCA in Milford, Alicia. How did you come about to being at St. Joe's now? What was that process like?
I kind of got a little lucky. I just happened to see the job posting, and after reading through it, it's like somebody went inside of my brain. It was like, what is everything that Alicia Thresher likes to do? And let's put it in one job title. So just being able to sit down and come in and talk to Mr. Butler and President Fitzgerald and Dr. Keene and all of the other administrative staff here, we just instantly shared the same vision for what we would like to produce for the students here at St. Joe's. And thankfully, it was a good fit, and it's everything I've really been looking to do for the last couple of years. And most high schools are not, don't have the opportunity to have a position like I have. And this is really the population that I've been wanting to work with for a long time. So I'm just very grateful that, this center was getting built and I had the opportunity to make this transition over to the high school stage again.
Now, Alicia, going forward, what are some of the goals you hope to achieve in the next maybe 5 years or so with this wellness center? What do you want to see, get done here at St. Joe's in terms of physical education classes, nutrition classes? What are you hoping to see? I know you guys got Zumba classes and yoga classes coming in as well in the future. What are you expecting to see as well coming into the wellness center?
I really would like to start having some more electives added into our curriculum for the Health and Wellness Center so that if a student knows that they want to major, in athletic training or exercise science or physical therapy or, nutrition or anything like that, we can start developing kind of a college preparatory track for them to kind of take some of those classes at the high school level to help set them up for better success once they get into the college level. We do that with a couple other, programs here already, and I would love for health and wellness to be added to that. But also, I would love to, increase the number of, college athletes that we have, have more colleges coming out looking at us because not only are our teams super talented, but they're also very strong and very fit at the same time. And then also being able to start offering things in the summertime for, our alumni, our community, not just the students, but the parents and the teachers and faculty and such forth.
We've seen the pictures on the screen here. It looks absolutely incredible. Over 10 stationary bikes, 4 ellipticals, 5 treadmills. It goes on the list of all the equipment that's been put in there. Really, Alicia, I just have one more question for you, and that would be, how do Kevin and I get in? Where do we sign up?
Just keep coming and interviewing us all the time. And just, we'll do the interviews on the spin bikes instead.
That's perfect.
Love it.
We can get a couple cycle classes in without a doubt. Alicia, thank you so much for taking time with us this afternoon. It's absolutely incredible what you guys are doing. We hope this example is followed along by a lot of the other FCX schools, and we continue to see these kinds of changes in a positive direction.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Okay, that was Elisa Thresher, the new director of the Health and Wellness Center at St. Joseph High School. We're going to take a break here on Nutmeg Sports. When Kevin and I get back, we'll look back on some of Monday's FCX action and get you ready for tonight's broadcast. Richfield and Danbury boys basketball, all coming up next on the HAN Network.
We know it's your busy season, and that's why Walter Stewart's Market is here to make things easy by offering the best of autumn under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market is your local one-stop fall shop. There are so many seasonal flavors to savor, and Stewart's has them all. From Blue Jay Orchard's local cider donuts to Vermont Farmstead cheddar and all of your favorite varieties of local apples and pears. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and find us at stewartsmarket.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. SCAP Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Family owned and operated for over 50 years. Call, click, or stop in today. Save thousands at the 2018 Auto Show event and start something new sales event. Now through January 31st.
At Galt, we always put you first. As your full-service home heating partner, we provide expert delivery, installation, and maintenance for all your heating needs with knowledgeable, friendly professionals that give you peace of mind 24/7. Galt Family Companies, you first since 1863.
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866. If you've
had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care gives you direct access to orthopedic specialists fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care can help. Open 7 days a week now at 3 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue, Norwalk, 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien, or in the Westport Medical Center at 323 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Go to coastalorthoct.com. Like them on Facebook.
Welcome back to Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network. Frank Granito alongside Kevin Coleman. Our thanks again to Alicia Thresher of the St. Joe's Health and Wellness Center for joining us again. Absolutely incredible what they're doing. It was a project 2 years in the making. It came out incredible, I think, beyond their wildest dreams of how good it would look. And it's going to do a lot of good for both the student population and the student athletes there at St. Joe's.
I fully agree. You got to give props to everyone that put so much hard work into making this happen. I think they started 2 years ago or so, where they really started the planning out process, and terrific job that they did at St. Joseph High School. It's beautiful. It looks like a college, workout center. It looks like a D1 center. It really does. It's the upstairs is where all the bikes are. Then you go downstairs. I think it's even better downstairs. They have the weight room. They have the 40-yard turf runner where you can do some workouts there, some sprints, and I think it's just what they did down there. Awesome job. I think it's going to do wonders for these, not only just student athletes, but for the kids who aren't student athletes as well. I think it's so great that they're really buying into health and nutrition, all that, teaching these kids at a good age of what to do to live a healthier life. So that's what they're doing at St. Joe's is spot on. So tip of the cap to them.
And of course, this coming off of a great fall season. They won the FCAC in soccer. Girls soccer, that is. Of course, they had a state title on top of that as well. Football won a state championship taking down Ansonia. So a lot of, as Kevin Butler said, a lot of state championship teams that deserve a state championship facility, and they are getting that. Want to switch over now, look back at last night, all right? And there were 2 huge rookie performances that stood out to me, both of them in New Canaan, both of them in the ice rink. And it was the freshman for the New Canaan girls team who broke through in overtime. 2 minutes to go before we would have ended in a tie, and Kelly Benson breaks through. New Canaan beats Simsbury 5-4. I was there for the last 5 minutes of the third period, Kev. Got to watch all of overtime. The Rams playing really, really well. They improved to 8-1. Their top players, Bruno, Dean, McCarthy, were all involved. They had a lot of action going, but it's Benson. I'm talking in the dirty area. She is standing by the crease, just poking home at a loose puck, finds a way to get it in. Big win for the Rams. Their only loss this season, back against Hamden early on, and Hamden playing incredibly well. New Canaan looks really, really good, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I am very surprised at how well the girls are playing.
I mean, you look at New Canaan, you look at Greenwich, they're very similar. I mean, they both have a roster filled with depth, filled with players. Not only, obviously seniors and juniors are really going to step up big. We have, the superstars are there, but it's the freshmen that are making their name known now on both squads. So I think Greenwich and New Canaan are very similar, but it's a good start for New Canaan. You mentioned that one loss to Hamden. Now they're on a roll. A big win last night against a strong Simsbury team. This is a good start for New Canaan.
You're right. And New Canaan, 4 junior captains last year. They're all back this year. There's a lot of experience there. I love Jess Eccleston on the point for New Canaan. I think she's one of the most gifted athletes in the conference. It's just one of those things that she sees the ice so well, incredibly patient, knows what she's doing. And then for me, I think Kara Fahey might be the best goaltender in the FCAC right now. Does it help that, unfortunately, Jessica Ware went down with that knee injury before the year? It doesn't hurt. But
doesn't hurt, yeah.
Fahey now in her second year as a goalie full-time, she's playing so well. 24 saves last night. The Rams, things are working for them right now. I think they have really proven themselves to be one of the top 2 teams in this conference. And I am very excited for Wednesday the 24th. We're going to get to see them hosting Darien from the Ice House. I think that's going to be a great game.
That's going to be a good one. That's, you expect every year, you expect New Canaan, you expect Darien, Greenwich, really making some big strides here. These 3 programs doing a great job early on in the season. So it's good to see the Rams on the girls' side of hockey are playing well because, a little shaky start for the boys, but good story last night that you saw, Frank. A little bit of a goalie change last night for the boys hockey team, but it's good to see they're back on track.
I'm glad you mentioned that because, honest to God, if it had happened a day earlier, I would have nominated him for an Athlete of the Week. But, Dylan Shane, 6 weeks ago, this kid had never played goalie before in his life, okay? The Rams, through some unusual circumstances now, found themselves heading into their game against West Hill Stanford last night, the co-op squad. 0-4 on the year, and Dylan Shane was getting his first career varsity start. The young man, 19 saves, gets the Rams their first victory of the year. I stayed for the first period of that game. They trailed 1-0 at the end of 1, 2-1 at the end of 2, but 3 unanswered goals in the third, enough to power them to victory. But Shane, I tell you what, he made that first save. You would have thought he'd been playing goalie his whole life. The place went nuts, and he's just looking around like, come on,
awesome.
This is nothing.
That's so cool.
It's a great story. It's a win the Rams needed. It just
yeah.
stops the bleeding. It's a young team right now. It gets you some confidence, a little bit more, just that, okay, this is still fun. Not everything is working against us. Not everything's going to go against our favor. Quinn McMahon with the game-winning goal, that kind of depth, huge for the Rams right now. They need that scoring. The top line, Granito with 2 goals, Semino with 1 goal. You're going to get your points from them, but a big win from New Canaan, and everyone over there right now breathing a sigh of relief. Congrats to Clark Jones as well. Yep. His first victory as head coach of the Rams. But I tell you what, man, Dylan Shane, dude, tremendous job last night. It was an incredible performance, and you deserved all the credit you got after that one, pal.
Have you experienced that before? Have you seen 2 of your goalies go down? You have to kind of go to another one that doesn't really have experience?
God forbid anything had gone wrong last night. I was talking with Coach Jones before the game. He was saying, all right, yep, Shane's getting the start. He's good to go. We don't have a backup goalie dressed, but, contingency plan. If something goes wrong, Jack O'Hare, who had an assist in the game, was ready to head to the locker room quickly. Quick little wardrobe change, and he was going to hop in between the pipes. Come on, man. This is listen, it's very unusual.
Yeah.
I've seen things like this. Obviously, you look at the NHL sometimes, equipment managers, former
That's
personnel
That's right, yeah.
in the organization with some kind of little bit of experience. They got to sign those one-day contracts and be thrust into position. It's very, very unusual, but part of the game. The Rams are handling it as best they can right now.
Yeah.
Tough test coming up, though. The next 3 games for the Rams, very, very difficult. They're going to see Simsbury on the road. They get Northwest Catholic at home in a rematch of the state semifinals last year. Then on the road at Xavier. Those are 2 long road trips, 2 tough road trips, and Northwest Catholic playing almost as well as they were last year. So the Rams now have got to find a way to quickly turn this momentum into some more and continue to build.
And I think that goal last night for Quinn McMahon, he needed that because you look at these past couple games, even the games that we covered, he's had great opportunities that kind of fell short for him. He's had some good breaks, some good breakaway shots that just don't fall his way. Good to see him get back there because I could tell, even being ice side, he's frustrated at times coming off the ice. So it's good to see Quinn McMahon is there and a little boost of confidence there. So
that would have been a good time to cue the ceremony, get the monkey off the back celebration.
Exactly.
That would have been the move. So first win of the year for the Rams, a big one for them. Congrats again to Dylan Shane. Great job, buddy. Awesome work last night. Looking forward to seeing you back in there again. Let's take one more break, Kev. When we get back, we'll start looking ahead. Tuesday night hoops, division leaders Danbury and Richfield from the Tigers Den. Previews next on the HAN Network.
Voted Best Gourmet to Go in Fairfield County, Palmer's extensive menu offers everything you'll need to make your next event easy and delicious. Whether you're hosting a small get-together or planning a large celebration, they've got you covered breakfast through dessert. Order online at palmersdarien.com or call 203-655-2077.
Yeah, Dad.
Kyle, I need you to update the financial statements.
I took care of that yesterday, Dad.
Mac, I need you to get those deals approved.
They're all done, Mr. Miller.
Jeff, I need you to order lunch for the meeting. They can't do a thing without me.
Right now, lease a 2017 Sentra S for only $97 a month.
I'm never going to retire.
UK Gourmet is the largest specialty grocer in the area, featuring food from England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Over 80 teas to choose from and a brilliant assortment of biscuits to go with them. Over 70 cheeses from grass-fed cows, which makes a smashing difference in taste. The creamiest chocolate you'll ever taste using no artificial colors or preservatives. So say hooray for UK Gourmet, 78 Stony Hill Road in Bethel, or visit ukgourmet.us.
Dr. Stephen Molinaro and Peter Healy of Family Practice Dentistry and Laser Dental Care have served Ridgefield for over 22 years. Experienced staff offer gentle drillless techniques, preventative care, and cosmetic procedures in a relaxed environment. Grateful for the community's trust and support through the years, new patients and their families are welcome. Call today.
Back on the HAN Network, Frank Granito, Kevin Coleman, looking ahead to tonight's hoop matchup. We've got Danbury traveling to Richfield. The Hatters putting their undefeated record on the line. Of course, they've got the division lead in the West. The Ridgefield Tigers, the defending conference champions, currently leading the East Division, a perfect record in the FCX. Kev, right away, dive into this. The player on both sides you are most excited to see tonight. Go.
Oh, without a doubt. We mentioned it earlier in the show. It's got to be Denali Burton and Brendan McNamara. These two players, with their own, have great individual skills that you just don't see very often. And Denali Burton automatically got the size, height advantage. He got the speed. This is a big dude inside. He'll not only penetrate inside and beat you to the hoop, but he'll also drain it as well. He's been working on his jump shot as well. Brendan McNamara, we know how dynamic he is. He can shoot the three. He can go inside, hit a baseline jumper if he wants to. Go inside, really just can kind of do whatever he wants on the floor. But the one thing I'm looking forward to, Frank, and one thing you have to watch is Luke McGarrity's out. He's the starting point guard for the Richfield Tigers. Broken thumb. He's not going to be back till maybe that Wilton game at the end of January, but we're probably not going to see him until February. How are the Tigers going to adjust? Now, James St. Pierre, good ball handler. I want to see how he adjusts there, bringing up the basketball. Alex Price, I want to see how he can shoot tonight. This guy's a sharpshooter, but you look back on last Wednesday, he was a little bit off against Stanford in their win. He was back on Saturday. Want to see how he does for the Tigers. If he gets going early from three-point, there's a good shot the Tigers have a good shot of taking this game from Danbury. You got to expect the crowd to be pretty loud tonight.
You have mentioned that.
I want to see how the Hatters adjust to that, and that's something that the coaching staff, I know head coach Casey Bach is going to emphasize to try and take the crowd out early, and that's what the Hatters have to do early on here, especially in that first couple minutes.
For me, you talk about McGarity being out, and so I look at that point guard matchup. I think you're going to see a lot of help defense on the point guard for the Hatters. You're going to see those twos, those threes coming over. My player to watch in this game, who I think could really be primed for a big night, Cam Snow.
Yeah.
I think he's one of those wing players. If his man abandons him out in coverage, out on defense to help out, you could see kick-out passes. Snow will shoot the lights out from behind the arc tonight, and that could be a big deciding factor in this one.
Oh, I like that pick because not only can he shoot, but he's also a good defender as well. This is a good defending Danbury team. And one player who I know they're missing this year is Chris Torres. I thought he was excellent last year for the Hatters. He gave Richfield nightmares. So I think the Tigers are happy to see that Chris Torres is gone. But this is a hard-fought Hatters team. They're going to play man-to-man tough.
Yep.
I want to see how they come out. They're going to go man-to-man right away. 2-3, maybe sit back, see what the Tigers bring. So looking forward to seeing what both defenses bring. You expect man-to-man on both sides, but this is really going to be a tense, exciting matchup from these two old-school rivalries.
You talk about the defense, and Danbury only giving up 47 points a game. Ridgefield not that much worse, 53 points a game. They're scoring 69 are the Tigers, and 65 for the Hatters. So it is a very balanced matchup, and I think we're seeing two of the top teams in the conference right now that are just sort of jockeying for position. This game is not going to determine the FCX season or the state tournament, but there are two programs right now that are in a really good run. They're in a good place. They're doing things right. It's going to add a little bit of extra emotion to this rivalry. So, it'll be interesting to see if anyone gets in foul trouble early on. Make your free throws. Make your free throws, please.
Yeah.
But we don't want to do this all night. Come on, guys. But I think little things like that will play a big role. I think Jordan Brown is another guy who can have a big game for Danbury.
Oh, yeah.
I won't make you pick this game, even though I got a feeling we know which way you might be leaning. I like the Hatters, though. I think Danbury is playing very, very well early on. They've got a lot of weapons, and it's a great combination of size and strength down low with that speed and finesse on the outside. You look at guys like Javon Hernandez, Deontay Vines. There are a lot of players who are doing a lot of things right for Danbury right now. And I don't know that this is the game where they get tripped up.
No, I agree, and I'm not going to pick a team tonight, but I do agree with your dynamic play of Danbury because they have, and this is no offense to last year's team because Marcus Fox, terrific basketball player for Danbury last year, a tough hit, but I almost think in a way Danbury's a little bit better. They're faster, definitely this year up and down the floor. That benefits them because you look at some of the points they gave up, especially in that FCI tournament on fast break points, and just take care of the. It's the little things too that Danbury has to control. It's taking care of the basketball. A couple games last year late where they turned the ball over, which may have cost a couple games, but overall, this is a strong Danbury team. There's a reason why they're undefeated so far, especially coming into this game. So, strong schedule to start the year for Danbury. They're proving why they're one of the best teams, and tonight is a big showcase for not only Danbury but for Ridgefield as well. They want to send a message to the rest of the conference.
This was a tough game to pick this week, purely because on the girls' side tonight, Staples-Wilton, that's a great matchup. That's going to be a lot of fun.
That's a good matchup.
You're going to see a lot of speed. I think you're going to see a lot of points in transition, a lot of fast break points. I'm going to lean towards Gehrig and the Wreckers.
Okay.
But in the Z, don't be shocked if the Warriors pull one out.
I'm taking the Warriors tonight over in the Z. I got to take them. I got to take the Warriors. They're playing so well. Also, I want to touch upon a tough loss for Stanford too. I mean, losing Alexa Kellner. We feel for her. We hope she gets a speedy recovery. And this is a good Stanford team. They'll bounce back from this, but we wanted to send our regards because that's a tough hit for Alexa and the rest of the Stanford Black Knights.
It really is, and we hope it doesn't affect her college career. Obviously, she's going on to UMass next year and is going to be a tremendous athlete out there. But keep in mind, this is a Stanford team that played the FCI quarterfinals last year against Danbury without Kellner. They found themselves leading 33-5 after the first quarter. So we talked about the depth of Stanford yesterday. and the athletes they have all across the board. So they'll be able to bounce back. It's going to be a transitioning period, but as you mentioned, we're very sorry to hear of the injury, and we hope for a speedy recovery. Steve Gutman, our director, has given me the wrap it up sign, so I got to say goodbye for now. But we're back in just a couple of hours from the Tigers' Den. Western Division leading Hatters, Eastern Division leading Tigers. The battle for Route 7 is taking it to the basketball court tonight. We'll be on the air at 6:50 for Kevin Coleman. I'm Frank Granito. We'll see you later on right here on the HAN Network.